my YouTube friends! There is a serious problem with live streaming when you go out in the world and not in a studio. I mean, in a controlled environment, it's really easy. But once you get outside the controlled conditions of a studio, things get pretty messy. So today, I have an app for all you phone streamers that could just fix this entire problem and let you stream directly to any social media platform. And what's more, this app allows a remote producer to control your stream, add other phones into the mix, and use OBS or VMix to put it all together from anywhere. I mean, you can create an entire live network of phone cameras or even external DSLRs or HDMI cameras that you can use anywhere with your cell phone. And that just scratches the surface of what this app can do. I can't wait to share it with you, so you know what? Let's get to it! Now, I always say that audio is more important than video, but there is a point where video is just too bad to overlook. Now, here is one of my favorite creators demonstrating exactly what I'm talking about. Now,
we're getting up there. Come on.
Now, I love Jimmy Dale, he cracks me up, but his live stream isn't even really video anymore. It's just unwatchable. And I'm not immune to this either. Here's some early clips of my live stream. They've got these bushes. They kind of surround these locations. See, there's this whole... When I was doing streams like this, I was always wishing that there was a way to get more bandwidth and make things look better and run more reliably. Unfortunately, I never found anything that had any sort of reasonable price that a beginning YouTuber making no money could afford. Omnistream has created a simple streaming app that will do just that. It accomplishes this feat using something called cellular bonding. Essentially, what it means is you can combine multiple different connection sources to get more bandwidth. And I mean any connection source. So Wi-Fi or cellular, hotspot, Starlink, anything that you can connect to the internet with. With an iPhone, you can do 2 connections. And with an Android, you could potentially do a lot more. And the best part is how easy it is to do. You don't even really have to think about it. Now, there is a link in the description for Omnistream so you can download it and check it out yourself. It won't cost you anything to have a look, so download it now and follow along with me. That is the best way to learn. Let me show you how simple this app is. Alright, so you're going to get Omnistream from the App Store in the normal ways. The Google Play Store or the Apple App Store, whatever it is. Of course, you can just click the link, it'll take you right there. But what we're going to do is, you can see it's on this machine right here, and I'm just going to click the Omnistream button, and it comes up. The first time that you go in, it's going to ask you to go ahead and log in. It's really simple, and of course you get to try it for free for 14 days, so you can just create a login, and boom, this is what you're going to get. And you can see that it automatically starts using the back camera, but if I click the hamburger menu in the top and I go into settings, I can change up the camera from internal back to the front camera. And there we go. So now we've got a camera on me. Now we can do obviously vertical, or we can do it horizontal. I'm going to leave it in vertical because it makes it easier for me to film. But we do have a button down here at the bottom where we can basically lock the actual vertical or horizontal. And that one is right down here at the bottom. You can see it turning red. If we click the hashtag mark there, that's going to add some lines on the screen so that we know when we're centered and all that sort of stuff. Let's go ahead and take a look at what else is in the settings. So we just click on the settings and we can choose our language. We can enable remote control, which we'll cover later. It gives us our network interface, which in this case is Wi-Fi and cellular. We can select either one. It's defaulted as Wi-Fi and cellular, and I'll talk about how all that works in a minute. Then we can select our video resolution, and pretty much this is a product of whatever your camera's capable of doing, and also what you want to stream to. We're going to leave it on 1920 by 1080. And then the scan mode is basically has to do with the picture quality. Progressive is fine, video codec is fine. You can change your frame rate from 30 frames per second up to 60 or down to 24. depending upon what you want to do. You can set your max bit rate. It's anywhere from 1 megabit per second all the way to 16. Generally, I believe it comes set at 4 megabits per second, which is pretty good for 1920 by 1080. But if you're going to add an extra connection, then you might be able to get 6 megabits per second. Now just be aware, it's basically going to try to find the best bit rate that it can either way. It's pretty smart like that. So I generally put mine up to 6 megabits per second. Now when you set your bit rate here, you don't have to worry about it all that much because you can actually change your bit rate while you're live. And I'll show you how to do that in a minute. And if we go back in here, we've got our video orientation set to auto, which means it will just automatically switch back and forth depending upon which way we want it. And then bit rate, we have a choice between constant bit rate, CBR, or variable bit rate, VBR. And it gives you a little information below each one, but basically variable bit rate will adjust the bit rate based on the type of video that you're sending. It can look smoother and all that sort of stuff. Generally, I stick with constant bit rate because it gives me what I feel like is the better picture quality. So then we come down here and we go to stream type, and there are 3 different types. There's live, average, and best quality. Obviously, best quality is going to give you the best image and picture that you can, but you may suffer from a little bit of lag between when you film it and when they see it on the live end of the stream. So just be aware of that. Basically what we're talking about is live being the lowest latency all the way up to best quality, where you're introducing a little bit of latency in order to get a better picture quality. Now, this is fine. You can just read the chat and respond when the chat comes through. It's really not a big deal. Now you can save the live stream down here if you check that, and you can also auto disable saving the live stream if you like. You can record in session quality, meaning that you can make a recording directly on your phone, which will be the actual quality right from the phone. So even if you do have some sort of a live streaming snafu where you drop or the picture quality goes bad, you still have the original quality on your phone that you can create a video on later or something like that. It's pretty cool stuff. So you could choose folders to save your stream and or use the default folder. And then of course you can delete your account and you can see the debug statistics. So that's basically what we have here in our settings. If we go ahead and click here, we can actually set a slider that will change our bit rate right there. With this slider, you can actually change your bit rate in real time, even when you're live. So if your connection is struggling a little bit, you can always turn it down. Or if you want more fidelity and you have a good connection, you can turn it up. While you're live, you don't have to stop your broadcast to change this up. You can just use this slider. Now the last piece of this is exports, and that is down in the bottom right hand corner. We're going to go ahead and click that, and that's going to turn our screen sideways. So on the export configuration screen, we can do all kinds of stuff. Here we can connect to Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Telegram, custom RTMP, which essentially enables you to connect to anything, Twitch, Rumble, X. We have SRT listener and caller, and that's to connect this to other features that will allow you to do remote production. So let's just start with YouTube, and we can go ahead and click our YouTube button right here. And Omnistream wants to use Google, so basically it's just going to take you to Google, and you go ahead and click your thing and sign in. You click continue, and you go ahead and just authorize everything and continue. And now you can set your stuff up. So we're going to go and make this unlisted stream. We can create an event, or if you have an existing event, you can select that down here, or just create a new one. We can set our category. We could put a title and description on here. So test, and we could basically submit this. So now we've got our YouTube all set up. Now we can add whatever we want. So if we wanted to add Rumble, all we have to do is click here, and we can put in our URL and our key and submit it, and then that'll show up here as well. Let's go ahead and add Facebook, and we'll continue. Continue, and boom. So now we could just set up our title and all that sort of stuff. We can set it from public or whatever. I'm going to make it only me and submit. And now boom, we've got 2 locations where we can go live from. And you can see that it gives us links in the whole 9 yards. So we're all set. All we have to do then is go back and click live, and it's going to take us live to those locations. So now all that's left is to go live. So let's go ahead and click this live button right here. And it tells us what our information is right there. 30 frames per second, H.264. Up in the top right, it tells us that we're connecting through 2 things. In this case, the cellular on the phone, and of course the Wi-Fi that I have in my house. We could click up here and see if we wanted to change our bit rate or anything like that. And right down here in the bottom left-hand corner, if we click on this little pie chart, this shows us what the cellular bonding is doing. So in this case, we are on 75% Wi-Fi and 25% on the iPhone. So you can easily do this out in the field. Chances are you're just going to connect it to another Wi-Fi or hotspot. So generally speaking, this would have helped me infinitely by doubling my connection speed anywhere I went, because I was always with someone else and that other person always had a cell phone. So all we really had to do was go ahead and use their cell phone as a second connection. Would have connected right in here and literally doubled my connection speed. Chances are I would have had almost no issue streaming. I think you can see how unbelievably powerful this can be. When we're finished streaming, all we have to do is click stop, and we're going to end both streams. So it says down here, Facebook and YouTube live streams have been done, blah, blah, blah. And there we go. We've now live streamed to 2 different locations on a phone, really easy, using cellular bonding. This absolutely revolutionizes the ability to live stream on your cell phone from anywhere. And as you can see, it's really, really simple to use. Like I showed you, you can stream to any live streaming platform directly from the app. You don't need anything else. Pretty cool, huh? Well, remember when I said you could add a remote producer who could organize multiple cameras and stream from anywhere? With it, you could put together your own live news network if you wanted to. All you need is the little app. It's perfect for live sports, church streams, and so many other types of broadcasts. It's a cool feature called the dashboard that allows you to control each camera and produce an entire stream in OBS or VMix, or just stream directly to any social media platform. Let me show you how it works. Now, the dashboard allows you to control a bunch of different Omnistream phones from anywhere in the world, but you can theoretically go directly from your cell phone right to OBS anywhere in the world as well. So I'm going to quickly show you that first. So once again, what we're going to do is go up here into the top left and click our connect button. And we're going to go to this SRT listener. And all we have to do is click that button and then click generate. And that's going to generate some information. We're going to save and close. Now we've got a little link in here. So we can click on our little link grabber and we can select VMix and OBS. And it's going to copy that. And then we can just paste it somewhere. I'm just going to click copy. And now all we need to do is find a way to get that information to the person who's going to be running OBS. So you can send it in email or whatever you want. Now let's go into OBS and I'll show you how to add it. So now on our computer, we're just going to go ahead and grab the link from wherever it was sent to. Here in OBS, what we're going to do is click the plus under sources, and we're going to select media source, and we'll just call this one Omni, and I'm going to click OK. Then all we have to do is uncheck local file, and we're going to lower our buffering and we're going to lower our reconnect delay. And then we're just going to paste that link in here. And then here we're going to put MPE GTS. Now, if you don't lower the buffering, the reconnect delay, and put this stuff in here, you are going to have higher latency. So just be aware of that. We'll just click OK right here. And as you can see, nothing happened. Well, we have to go and do one more thing. Because we're controlling this from our phone, not anything else, we've got to actually click live on the phone to send the signal. So we'll click live, and boom, we just shrink this down, fit it anywhere we want on the screen. And of course, you will notice that there is a little bit of latency, but it doesn't really get any better than this. In fact, this is as good as what you're going to see on any major network broadcasts like ESPN or anything like that. When the host asks a question and somebody's remote, it takes a moment for them to answer. This is about as good as it gets, especially considering that you can do this from anywhere in the world. And let's be honest, latency is something you just have to get used to when you're doing live streams. It's the nature of the beast. It's not going away anytime soon, and the latency on this is really pretty good. You can literally send your camera signal from anywhere in the world and bring it directly into OBS and use it and set it up in any way you want. Not just one camera, but many cameras. In fact, any number of cameras you can connect directly to OBS using this. But now let's look at Dashboard, which gives a remote producer the ability to grab and control all those cameras at one time. So here's the dashboard. All we've got to do is go ahead and log in. And this is what it looks like. Now I can basically make this start and stop just by pressing the record or the live on the phone. But I can actually control that phone right here now. I can click right here to actually force the live to start happening on the phone. Now the video looks choppy here, and that's on purpose. It does that because it's not going to spend a lot of effort and energy on your CPU to render these out because they're not important. So just understand that that's not a representation of the final product, but from here I can set up the export for anything. And you can see that the SRT listener that I set up on the phone is now here. But I can delete that right off the phone if I want to. And I can set up my own SRT listener to whatever I want. So right now we are controlling this phone right here, and I can set up custom RTMPs, to whatever platform I want. I can set up listener or caller. Whatever I want to do, I can set up directly right here, and it'll happen on the actual phone. If we go over here into Stream, you can see that I've got access to all the settings that are on that phone. So I can change any one of them, from progressive scan to the resolution to the codec that it's using. I can change all of those things. All I have to do really is stop broadcasting, and then I can go down here and I can change it from 1920 by 1080 to high def, 30 frames to 60. I can change the bit rate down from 6 to 4. And then the second that I start the phone broadcasting again, I'm going to receive that signal with these new settings. So I've just changed the settings on that remote phone that could be anywhere in the world, but I've just changed those settings right here. And then when I click play, boom, I start receiving the signal. Now you can see over here, we've got the split for how the phone is being dealt with. In this case, Wi-Fi and cellular, all that sort of stuff. We can get a bit rate chart, and we can get device info that tells us the temperatures, what the cellular provider and the Wi-Fi, so what the split is here, what network it's on, all that sort of stuff. We've got the information right here. We also get alerts and logs if there's any sort of weird situation that we can tell the actual camera operator about. We can come down here and change the settings on this. We can stop it once again, and we can go from best quality to live so that we can get less latency if we want, and we can change all the modes and all that sort of stuff. We can click apply. We can also set up outputs. So if we go right here, you can see we've got a bunch of different outputs, and we can set these up to go to different locations or different places if we wanted to send those signals off to different things. Now once we have everything set up the way we want, we could go ahead and click play. We can go in here to export, and we can once again create a listener, a caller, or a custom RTMP to go to any site that we want. YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever we want. We can set it up to stream directly to there from here, or we can set up SRT listeners and callers in order to import them into OBS like I just showed you, going from the individual phone. Any one of those things can be done right from here. And you can see up here that we've got Live 1 set up. But if you have multiple phones, you just log them in with those different logins, and they'll all show up right here. And a remote producer will be able to just select those phones and control them all right here. They can send them to different outputs if they want to. They could create a broadcast with all of them in one scene, or one in each scene. whatever the remote producer wants to do, they can create an amazing show with 5 different remote feeds from anywhere in the world. So this person could be in the US, and this person could be in the UK, and this person could be in Canada, and this person could be India, and this person could be in Mexico. It does not matter. You can take all these signals, combine them in one OBS broadcast, or send them out to 5 separate OBS broadcasts. It just doesn't matter. The number of things that you can do with this are absolutely limitless. It's an incredible tool. So this app can totally solve the bad connection issues of streaming with a cell phone, and you can stream directly from the phone anywhere if you want. Now you could also use the Axoon Simu 4K adapter to add any DSLR or HDMI camera to the app. And this thing works pretty simply. You just clamp your phone in here. You have a cable that connects to the bottom of your phone. Then you've got an HDMI input right here that goes into any camera that you want to use. It even has space for a battery on the back so you can power the unit and even charge your cell phone. So with this, you can literally use any HDMI camera that you want, and your streams can look absolutely amazing with the extra bandwidth of the app. Now the Axoon Simu is the iPhone solution to adding a DSLR camera to the system, but if you wanted to add a DSLR to an Android phone, this is the solution for you. You just connect it into the HDMI input, and then of course the USB-C into the bottom of the phone. And when you add on the dashboard, you can produce your very own live broadcasts in OBS or VMix. My mind was blown, and I expect you're pretty excited about exploring it too. So why don't you give Omnistream a download and take it for a test drive? There's a link in the description. And you get 14 days free to see if it solves your bandwidth and connection issues. It can't hurt to see how it works for you. I'm amazed, and I think you will be too. Now, I think the Omnistream app is absolutely amazing. It solves so many of the biggest live streaming problems when you're out in the field. But what do you think? Let me know down below in the comments, and I'd really like to know what you plan to use it with. So put those down there too. Now, if you're a beginner live streamer and you want to know more about setting up OBS to go to YouTube, check this video out. And if you're always looking for tools, tips, and tricks to help make you a better live streamer or YouTuber, subscribe to the channel. My name is Michael Feyrer Jr. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.